Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited to have you here today. Today we are talking with Bridget McDaniel with LinkedIn, and it's in preparation of CareerCon, a really wonderful event that is coming here live to Denver, which my company, Second Act Women, is hosting along with Western Union, CBS Colorado, and our friends at the Colorado Women's Chamber. This event takes place February 4th and 5th, so you don't have to skip work to be there. It's on a weekend. You can also skip skiing for a weekend, you Coloradans. But also, this is not just going to be live here in Denver, but it will be virtually cast to you from wherever you are in the world. Now, why this event? This event is really to help women, specifically over 40 and 50. But listen, we're not the ages. You are allowed to invite or be there if you are below 40, and if you're male, whatever you may identify as, you are invited. So you want a job, and actually getting through the ATSs is really difficult. You can't get through. You think age may be holding you back, no matter which side of the spectrum you're on. You want to hear maybe how you can beat your own imposter syndrome, because it's real. Maybe you want to switch careers, climb the ladder, or move over laterally. Well, that's what CareerCon is all about. It is to help you do that. And we have gathered together on behalf of Second Act Women and our sponsors, the most dynamic experts in their fields of HR, DE&I, resume writing, career searching, career changing. We have people from Vail Resorts, the Western Union, to DocuSign, to Yahoo Finance, to changing the narrative. We have covered it all. And you will have access to these amazing humans that will give you exactly the information you need to land that position that you want. Now, that said, I'm really excited to bring Bridget McDaniel on. Again, she has been, she's with LinkedIn. This is going to be really good. She is teaching a session at CareerCon. Now, you probably wonder about those open for hire, tags on everyone's, for those people that are looking. Does your manager see that? Who's seeing those things? What should you do about your profile? How do you get seen? What about engaging? What about writing articles? How does that go? So I am going to bring to the stage and welcome Bridget McDaniel from LinkedIn. Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm doing great.
I'm thrilled to have you here, and really excited myself and all of us really to learn a little bit more about LinkedIn. First of all, you're a talent acquisition person at LinkedIn. Tell us about your position.
Yeah, so I am a technical recruiter at LinkedIn. So I find software engineers and other technical talent for LinkedIn's engineering team who are actually going to be building LinkedIn's product.
Now, so since you are with LinkedIn, you're recruiting for engineering. How is it? Give us a little information about how in the heck do we reach the right person when we're on LinkedIn if we want to, maybe we've submitted an application through an ATS, but now we want to maybe do some outreach and reach the right person for that job. What are some things that we would want to do?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. So LinkedIn, honestly, as just a search tool for an actual candidate is great. You can type in keywords and find the people you're looking for pretty easily. I would say always look for the manager of the team that you're applying for. It would be the best bet, or a member of that team, even before you reach out to a recruiter at that company, just because recruiters are inundated with messages constantly. And if you could find someone who's in that exact role that you're looking for to send a message to, or maybe a leader of that team, that's going to be your quickest way to get a call back, in my experience.
Okay, and so knowing that, let's go back to that point that I made about the open to hires, the bubble that people are putting. How is it? How does that work? We've heard people ask, will their manager see it? Who sees that? Will they get in trouble because now they're looking for a job and they've got that open to hire? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that is only external. So no one within your company, manager, teammates, anyone like that is able to see that you have that open for hire circle around your profile.
That is
It's private.
amazing.
Yeah, it's very cool. And people who have that are actually twice as likely to get messages from recruiters as well. So it's something really valuable and definitely a feature I'd recommend using if you are someone looking for a new career.
So that's interesting. So they don't have to be scared that somebody within their company is going to see that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, what about an employee that works there that your work buddy, your work wife, your work husband? Suppose will they see it?
They shouldn't be able to. If they're listed as someone who works at your company, they will not have access to things like that on your profile.
Oh, great. Okay, so that's how private it is.
Mhm.
That is absolutely wonderful to know because I know, again, people are always curious about that. And
Yeah.
they certainly don't want to test it without knowing that someone is good. They don't want to throw it out there and then, and find out the otherwise. But that's good to know. So it's private to them. What would be, this event in particular is focused on the seasoned woman or male. Again, we are not the ageist, the sexist, and all of that. I'm curious, what should someone do to their profile to get hired behind or to stand out?
Mhm.
What is the most important thing in the profile that they should change?
Yeah, I think there are some things that are pretty easy to change. One is having a picture. You are more likely to get reached out to. It shows that you're an active user of LinkedIn if you have a picture. I think that is something people get afraid to do because they're afraid of ageism or being discriminated against. But at the same time, I think it's a good way to rule out people you maybe don't want to work for anyway. If someone who would be biased against a picture, have a picture. It shows you're engaged. It shows who you are, your smiling face, and people want to see that. So I'd say don't shy away from having a profile picture. That's huge. Have a headline about yourself to summarize, what you want to do, what are your skills. That's something a recruiter might only look at a little snapshot of you. They will see your headline and your current job title. So you want to have that up to date and accurate to either what you're doing now or what you did most recently or what you're hoping to do next so that the recruiter can see that.
Where is the headline? Is that the summary? Is that the
Yeah.
summary, or is that literally underneath our picture?
Right under your picture, there's job title and there's a headline. So you can say, go getting recruiter, lion, whatever you want to use as a summary for yourself to sell yourself. I think that's a good thing to put some thought into as well. If
And,
people are going to just see that much.
and knowing that, they should probably have in that headline. I'm guessing. First of all, how many words do you think that should be? And I'm guessing they should have some keywords in that for the job they're looking for. Is that correct?
I would say it is nice if you have just one particular job that you're looking for. I would put that front and center on your profile. List that as what you have training in or what you're hoping to do. Even a lot of people say seeking project management roles, seeking engineering roles. That's a good thing to put in there and have that keyword so we know what you're looking for.
How does it work? What's the other side of HR recruiters and others, people like you that are seeking the right employees? How does it work from your side? You're online, you're in LinkedIn. Are you putting in a keyword to find the right people? Because there's millions upon millions of people. So how are you from your side finding the right talent?
Yeah, that's something I'm going to touch on and do a little behind the scenes demo of at CareerCon as well. But we use a ton of keywords. It's called a Boolean search string. All recruiters are using it. And we have a number of keywords that we're going to be searching for depending on the role we're trying to fill. So I would say having a really robust LinkedIn is not a bad idea. Having a full resume on there with descriptions of everything you've done, certifications you have. It's only going to help you get noticed and get seen and show up in more searches.
Well, and what I find interesting too is that I'm guessing some folks might know this, but you can export your information, because it is a resume. It has become a resume. So you can
Mhm.
export all that information as a resume. Is that correct?
You can, yeah. You can,
Yeah.
yeah, have LinkedIn build your profile off your resume. That's what I did and just reformatted it a little bit. I think at this point, my LinkedIn probably has even more information than my resume because I try to keep resumes short and tight. And then I have a link to my LinkedIn on my resume for people to go look at to see more of a full picture. And I think that's a good idea for people to do as well.
So you're in tech, and it's interesting because they say people over a certain age are lack tech. When in actuality, we are analog natives. That's what I love to remind people. Is that we're analog natives. So we were the Pac-Manners. We were the ones who were, had the Game Boys, had all those things really since the 70s. So it's not as if we don't understand tech or we don't like tech. There's a lot of people that don't like tech of all ages. And
Mhm.
so we do know that there are people out there, even within our community, that are looking to make the jump into tech. And so, how do they do that? Because we have a lot of women who, again, who want to make that switch. So, what are
Mhm.
some of the things that they can do to even start?
Yeah, I think one, don't write yourself off. Reach out to people about those jobs. Don't tell yourself there's anything against you that says you can't work in tech because you can. I made the move to tech at one point. I was not in tech recruiting, I was in sales recruiting, totally different
Totally
skill set.
different.
For me, I was willing to take more of a learning position as well and work my way back up to where I was before, which you have to have some humility for that. But at the same time, I
Yes.
think working in the field you want, working in the role you want, is worth even taking a couple step backwards. As much as we hate to do that,
Yeah.
I don't think it looks bad, and people understand you're making an intentional move, and
Yeah.
you're going to bring that to the table. You want to be here. You want to be working in this. And I think you'll see your career accelerate and get back to where you were and beyond very quickly if you're bold in those moves.
So I love that you made the point that it is okay to step back. I wrote the word down, humility. I completely agree, and I hear that some of the people that we talk to within Second Act Women's community is they seem to get that it's a matter of just doing it,
Mhm.
and making that. I heard one time someone had said sometimes you have to take a step back to move forward.
Mhm.
So that's really what you're saying is even you did this. Even being in the world of recruiting, you took a step back and then here you are probably in the position. How long have you been at LinkedIn? I think you're not even a year,
I'm
right?
not. No, it's
Yeah.
6 months. I'm new to LinkedIn, but I've been in tech recruiting. I think 7 years now, so a
Okay.
while. Yeah.
Okay. And there are companies out there like General Assembly and
Mhm.
our new friends at Geek Pack. That is a Colorado based woman owned company that has
Okay.
now done a deal with Udemy, which is another source, or Coursera. I mean, those are places, right, that people can choose to make the switch and learn and then get certifications that they can then put on their LinkedIn profile,
Exactly.
correct?
Yeah, exactly. And even just going to different talks, I went to a ton of free conferences at General Assembly just to hear the buzzwords, to know what people are using in the language and the vernacular in Texas and other.
Yes.
It's a whole different thing, and you just need to be able to speak that language a little bit because the job might be very similar in the tech world versus outside, but you have to know how to speak in the language that people are using. So just
Yes.
hearing it and being around it is so useful.
That's a good point. Is the language that is being used within whatever industry that you're looking to switch is finding the free courses or
Mhm.
paid courses, but yeah, making sure that you're understanding the language. That's a great point. When it comes to I guess I would love for anybody who's watching, you have the opportunity to ask right now you Bridget a question about LinkedIn. I know that you're curious, we all are, so this is your chance to ask her a question while I have her on the line for the next few minutes. Just pop the question into the comment section and we will get it answered. Why did you say yes to CareerCon?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's exciting to have people move into their dream job. That's why I love being a recruiter, is I love helping people get to where they want to go in their career. And I don't think there's ever an expiration date for that. We should always be doing that and never settle for a job that we're not happy with. And I want to always be enabling people to do that and helping them however I can. And CareerCon seems like a great tool for people to use to help move their career in the direction they want to go.
I love that you, thank you. Thank you. That is wonderful because that's true. And that's what our women and gents that are coming are looking to do. And it's so nice to know those people looking outside in, that's really what the recruiters are here to do. They help you. They're here to get you hired. If that is the job you want, and you're qualified, they want you a part of their team. And that's why you're taking part, as you said, in CareerCon. So here's the question. Do you find companies are okay with having them not just look at a resume, but are more or less told to go to LinkedIn to see everything instead of just on a piece of paper in front of them? I'm not sure I understand. Let me see.
I think if I'm understanding right, because I do get this question, should you even have a paper resume?
Oh, got it.
Is
Yeah.
that what you're just using? I mean, I'll answer that question. That's how I'm understanding.
Go for it.
And I think you should have a paper resume. To be honest, there's so many different people involved in the hiring process. Maybe me as a recruiter who's on LinkedIn all the time, I prefer to look at LinkedIn because that's the language I speak. That's what I understand. That's where I know to look for what I'm looking for in a candidate. But there's engineering managers I work with who want to see a resume. They have engineers on their team who are going to be interviewing people and they want to see a resume. You should always have a resume prepared and up to date if you're looking for a new job. That's still the gold standard. It still shows the level of care you're putting into things, stuff like formatting and how detail oriented you are. It still matters. It has been mattering forever as far as I know. So definitely still make a resume and put effort into it and curate it for the job that you're interviewing for. That's still really important.
That's good to know. That's great advice. Okay, the next one is, I know people want direct access, yes, to potential contacts, the contact's email and through Sales Navigator. And you are seeing some not providing. What do you recommend in getting around this?
So for me, I think a lot of times in getting someone's email, it's guesswork. It's knowing someone at a company and figuring out how emails are formatted at that company and trying it out. I think typically if you're just sending an in-mail, maybe you're paying for LinkedIn Premium access where you can in-mail people. They're seeing that. Usually those also go to their inbox as well as their LinkedIn account. So I wouldn't stress it too much finding an email versus just messaging on LinkedIn. But beyond that, I would say a lot of it is trial and error.
Trial and error. There you go. And you know what? Try it.
Yeah.
There may be an error, but I say try it. Facebook user, great questions from both the Facebook user, and so I just want to say thank you again, and I so look forward to seeing you at CareerCon in the next couple of weeks. Again, CareerCon is February 4th and 5th. And before we leave, I just want to showcase everyone the TV ad and the promotion so that you get inspired.
Women over 40. Ageism in the way of landing a job or moving up? Grab a ticket to CareerCon job advancement event by and for women over 40 with HR experts and recruiters, job seeking tools, and more. Tickets at secondactwomen.com.
So again, we look forward to seeing you at CareerCon. It's going to be a fabulous weekend. I almost said a fabulous day, but it's really going to be a fabulous weekend of fellowship and learning and fun. Literally, we will be having some fun. We have put inside of the schedule some fun with AC, with board lists. Oh, we do have another question. Hang tight. I love this. All right, let's do this. I'm in my 50s and I feel a bit stuck. Yes, I hear you. Because I'm not sure if companies want someone my age. Is there a field that seems like that is appropriate for the age group, I think is what you're saying. I'm a former TV producer and as well as education policy advocate. Great question about age. Great question. Thank you for that, Nicola. What do you say to that?
I think there's any field, never write yourself off. The first software engineer I ever hired was a mom of 6 who homeschooled all her kids and sent them off to college and then went to college herself to become a software engineer and in her 50s. It
Yeah.
can be at any age. You can do anything and just don't write yourself off. Try all the fields, find connections in those fields who can be your advocate, who you can explain your skill set to and how you could be a value add, and just network your way into it. Don't ever limit yourself, is what I would say.
You know what? That's true. And Nicola, you are not alone. You are not alone with that question. By you simply asking that question, I'm sure there are other people that are watching saying, thank you, thank you. And Bridget is right. So that's the imposter syndrome sitting in. We all can get it. We all have gotten it. You are not alone, but you do have to own your value, your experience, and what I've heard from other recruiters, Megan Jo Specht, who will also be at our event. She said that when she's in the room and someone comes in, she can actually tell immediately if the confidence is there or not. And sadly, she said this happens with a lot of women over 45. And so if you can walk in confidently even, and a lot of times, by the way, even your resume or you're a brand because you have social media, even if you have just LinkedIn, you are a brand. So they probably already know your brands because they've Googled you, whether it's on LinkedIn or what have you. But now is your time. Now that they know your brand, the outward side, now is your time to walk into that interview with confidence that you've got this. And by the way, another thing that we hear, and Bridget, I'm curious if you would agree to that you hear, is a lot of times women, specifically women, are not even applying for the jobs that men will apply. If a male sees a job description, and they fit 50% of that job, they're going for it.
Yep.
We wait until it's 90 or 95%, then we apply for the job. Apply for the damn job. If you have half of those skills, right? What would you say to that, Bridget?
Absolutely. No, you're so right. I see that all the time. I see that in my friends I'm giving advice to who skip over half these jobs they'd be great at. Always apply. Always, let someone else say no to you. Don't say no to yourself, is what I would say.
Absolutely. So thank you, Nicola, for asking that question. And yes, thank you to you too. I hope to see you at CareerCon. You can get your tickets. You could save $20 off of your tickets with the code 20OFF. That's 20OFF. You can find it at CareerCon. Just go to secondactwomen.com and you will find all the information you need. And Bridget, again, I'm looking forward to meeting you in person since this is our first e-meeting. And to those of you that watched today and those that are going to watch the replay, we hope that this is valid information, and the two of us hope to see you at CareerCon. And we wish you all the best. We are here for you. Thank you, Bridget.
Yeah, thank you so much. Excited to meet you.